What is good, everybody? Dylan and Ross Save Sports here. Full press coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Dylan Sanders at Dilly Sanders on Twitter. Myself, Ross Jackson at Ross Jackson. Nola on Twitter. Glad to be here with you today as we wrap up the week talking sports. Dylan, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. I've just been reading comics and watching comic book shows, so I'm in a good mood. It's all I need. Ross. It's all I need to be happy.
I love it, and I'm glad that you have it. We have a pretty busy show today. We have the NCAA Women's Final Four tonight, so we'll talk more about that. We have MLB and big news in the MLB. We'll also talk about
MLB opening day to talk
MLB
about.
Opening day.
Favorite all thing from Twitter.
Which we can start there if you want to start there right now.
I have my favorite thing from Twitter, Ross.
Let's do it.
This is a caller into I forgot the name of the show, but it is a 844 area code.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? I'm trying to see. 844 area code is used. Oh, it's a general area code.
It's like a pay by use type area code.
Yeah.
Or a call.
So yeah, but I forgot what team it is, but it's so Fox Sports got replaced with Bally Sports. You know this whole thing.
Yes.
So this is easily the highlight of Bally Sports. And it's going to be hard to come up with something better than this anytime soon.
Pitch around Ramirez, keep walking him, don't give him anything to hit. The next guy, the good pitches down the middle, he won't swing at, but the ball's down around his ankles. He hits the shortstop into a double play. This has been going on for 2 years.
Right. I guess you missed a lot of the games that Reyes hit in the clutch last year, huh?
No.
Oh, yeah. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You don't know baseball. You are an idiot. Listen, you're going to tell me you are judging. You don't know anything. You don't know squat, you stupid idiot. You're going to tell me you're going to make a judgment on the season after one game in 30-degree weather? That proves what an ignoramus you are. Get off our show. Fair weather idiot. All right, we're going to move on here. 844-289-1421. Didn't even have the courtesy to call me by my name. I got a few names I'd like to call him.
Yeah, apparently. Dang. You didn't have to go off on a dude like that. Jeez. Y'all, we're going to have a call-in line for this show. Technically, we already have one, but we're going to start using it once we figure out the appropriate setup.
That's going to happen.
And that's going to happen every time somebody calls. Every time somebody calls, we're just going to scream at them that they're an idiot. And then when they hang up, we'll be like, this is actually a really good point. Actually a really good point.
Hey, Rob, I'm going to call on the show.
I can't scream at you right now. I can't scream at you right now. I ain't got the kind of energy. But we will bring it hard to the people that are on the phone. And then once they hang up, we'll be like, you know what I think about this situation? And then literally reiterate word for word the point that they just made.
Yes, I agree.
And call ourselves smart and them stupid. No, I'm just joking. We obviously will not do that. But man, wow.
Speak for yourself.
Wow. I don't get it, man. Like, I don't understand. Like, what could people possibly think that's gonna like achieve? You know what I mean? Like, for your show, like if you're hosting a show, like I understand, like the opinion of the person may not be right, but what do you really achieve by like shouting at somebody, a caller like that? Like, it does not make you want to watch your show.
Having people share that. It was Cleveland broadcaster Bruce Dennen. He is beloved in Cleveland, so it's working for him.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that's the thing too. Is like, I guess if that's wild, man. That's wild. Well, shout out to Bruce for getting his getting his good there, because that's wild.
That was.
Have you ever yelled at somebody like that? Like in your life, have you ever yelled at somebody like that?
Probably. Yes,
Wow.
Yeah, I have actually.
Wow.
It was over
Like genuinely or like ironically, and you were being funny. You know what I mean?
Both.
Because like ironically and funny is different, but like genuinely, you've had to do that to somebody.
Yes, they were being an ignoramus,
an idiot.
You know, sometimes people got to be put in their place, Ross.
I hear you. I don't think I've ever.
Fair weather fans are annoying. I will.
Fair weather fans are annoying. I don't think I've ever done that. I mean, like I've put people in their place, but not at that volume.
I don't think you've ever gotten to that volume about anything, Ross.
Unless I'm like shouting for somebody to like, hey.
That's about as loud as you get.
Look at me.
Hey, look at me.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, hey, I mean, look, I have to assume. And maybe I should assume this of Bruce as well. I have to assume that, like, if you've done that to somebody, they absolutely deserved it. So I have to assume that whatever point this person was trying to make must have been.
I don't know anything about it.
You know what I mean?
I don't know anything about Cleveland baseball. I'm gonna be real with you.
Not to that level. Like, I mean, obviously, like we're here to talk about sports, but like, you know, there's like the local markets, and then there are the people that try to talk about everything. And obviously, like there's a level of depth that we couldn't possibly get to that Bruce is clearly at. And that's why people love Bruce. And so like, that's my shout out to him, is that like, look, man, if you had to do that, because there was no build up to it. He was just there. You know what I'm saying?
That's my favorite part about the clip is that it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, there was not, and maybe there was more beforehand, but like usually like when stuff like that happens, there's like a little bit of like a back and forth, you know what I'm saying? And it like builds a little bit over time. And then all of a sudden it's just like, you know what? I'm done here. This just felt like whatever point this guy was trying to make just was not on brand at all. And no. Bruce was like, let me introduce you to the brand right quick, which is the back of this hand.
Oh, man.
That's wild.
Is this guy always like this? Yes, he always is. Just before this, somebody called asking how they could overthrow the Cavs, our basketball team GM, and he just started screaming again. It's hilarious.
Wow. So this is like legitimately his brand then, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
This is just what he does.
I was trying to read and find more about why. True story, we used to prank call Bruce back in college to the point where they started rejecting calls if you said you were from Athens.
Yeah.
We met him at Clippers opening day or the Ohio State Fair. I can't remember which. Introduced ourselves. He laughed, called us idiots, and told us to go to class. Bruce is a real one. So he's been doing this for years.
That's outstanding. Well, shout out Bruce. Shout out Bruce for being on brand at all times, and for bringing the heat, man. Hey. I'm all about a little dynamite, you know.
Yeah. Shout out to Bruce Drennan.
That's wild. That's crazy. Well, I'll quickly talk about my favorite thing from Twitter, but obviously that was quite a while that we had to spend on that because that deserved a lot of attention. But my favorite thing from Twitter today is the not the Braves response, but the MLB and what they have done, which we'll talk more about here in a little bit. That is easily my favorite thing that I have seen so far on Twitter today. But also the other thing that I just want to mention is Kansas City, the Kansas Jayhawks. Have you seen this? Signed Bill Self, the basketball head coach, to a lifetime contract.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I'm all for a lifetime contract.
Man. I love a lifetime contract. I'm retweeting this right now at Ross Jacksanola. KU basketball signs Bill Self to a lifetime deal from their thing. So this is the statement from Chancellor Doug. I'm going to say Giroux because of where we're from, but I know that's probably not how it's pronounced in Kansas, but whatever. For almost 20 years, Coach Self has embodied the spirit and tradition of the University of Kansas, questionable, leading our men's basketball program to a national championship, 15 Big 12 titles, and 17 NCAA tournament appearances. We believe in Coach Self and believe in the future of our program under his leadership. We are thrilled, that he can continue to be a Jayhawk for the rest of his coaching career. That's pretty dope. You know how much you have to do to get a lifetime contract? You know how important you have to be?
You know how many recruiting violations that you have to be under investigation for? That's going to be the real interesting part. Is whenever Bill Self gets Will weighted.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to Bill Self, though. Shout out.
Yeah,
I love him a good lifetime contract.
Yeah. Every day I'm reminded of just how fortunate I am to lead a storied program, and there is truly no place else I would rather be. That's from Bill Self.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool stuff.
All right, but going back to the MLB, Ross, what did the MLB do today?
So the MLB today moved the MLB All-Star weekend or game, however you want to look at it, away from Atlanta in response to the state of Georgia's voting suppression efforts, which is actually what is happening here. And I applaud them for it. But apparently the Braves not enjoying this.
So what do you think? This is a good thing that the baseball is doing.
Yes.
Punish the state of Georgia, because the people, the government is going to be losing a lot of money from them losing this.
Right.
A lot of tourism, a lot of all that stuff. So take it away. What do you think would be the appropriate response from a team in the team in the state?
So this is also in a state, right? Let's remember that the Atlanta Falcons this past season or this past year, they were able to make the stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, a voting center, right? So we've seen within the sports community of Atlanta and Georgia, a sort of same thing happened with the basketball stadium as well. So we've seen already positive response from these sports organizations about generating and helping to assist in accessibility to voting. So my assumption would be that the Braves would have a similar response to this and be in support. I understand that the stadium no longer gets to host the All-Star game, which I'm sure there's an influx of money and things like that assist even the baseball team itself. But the understanding of like taking less on yourself for the greater good and the greater cause is most important. So that would be my assumption, is that they would be in favor of this happening with the previous displays of assistance in creating greater voter accessibility in the city, that they would be in support of this thing happening.
Right, so this is, I'll read their press release word for word. The Atlanta Braves are deeply disappointed by the decision of Major League Baseball to move its 2021 All-Star Game.
Yeah.
This was neither our decision nor our recommendation, and we are saddened that the fans will not be able to see this event in our city. The Braves organization will continue to stress the importance of equal voting opportunities, and we had hoped our city could be used as an event, could use this event as a platform to enhance the discussion. Our city has always been known as a uniter in divided times, and we will miss the opportunity to address issues that are important to our community. This is the one that was a big oof for me. I thought personally, maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Unfortunately, businesses, employees, and fans in Georgia are the victims of this decision. We will continue to support the community legacy projects which have been planned and are in the process.
See, here we go again. Here we are. We're attacking the action in response to the condition as opposed to attacking the actions that created the condition in the first place.
Yes.
Here we go again. We continuously see this. This is something that needs to be done better. We have to have a better understanding of cause and effect, particularly in the realms of representation and equity.
I believe Bomani Jones put it best. I saw his quote tweet recently to this press release, and all he said, Atlanta fan, Bomani Jones. Keep it in mind. How effing dare you? And then he left it at that.
I love Bo Marty, man. So just I mean, like, I don't want to read this off because this is not a political, like, this is not a show that covers politics and voting and stuff like that. But if you're interested in seeing what this issue is about in terms of what we're referencing in terms of the conditions that have created, or excuse me, the effects that have created the conditions as opposed to the effects that are in response to the conditions that have already been created. If you want to see where the conditions are being generated, you can go to Mina Kimes' account. She tweeted out a list of voting suppression actions that are a part of all of this and what folks are responding to.
Bomani also made me laugh because he said, I would also like to ask the Braves how they put out a statement and no one knows how to use its. What Galaxy Brain was like, no, you got to put an apostrophe after the S because it's possessive.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even know that. But yeah.
That's hilarious.
Shout out to Bo. Shout out to Bomani Jones.
Shout out Bomani. Man. Wonder how many listeners we just lost. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, no, I look, do we know where they're moving the All-Star game to? Nope. Not yet, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good luck finding a state that doesn't suppress voting.
Boom. If we want to move to something else I saw that was funny on Twitter, to me, Ross, sports, we've been going through these relative athletic scores. These have been popping up. One thing that was brought to my attention, Ross, was the comparison of Rashad Bateman and Jarvis Landry, Ross. And I need to get this up because I had never seen Jarvis Landry's RAS score before. And have you ever seen it? Have you seen this?
No, I haven't seen Jarvis Landry's. I think I got into RAS scores after he had already passed through a combine, and I haven't gone through and historically looked at many players.
All right. So the big comparison that a lot of people are handing out is comparing Rashad Bateman to Jarvis Landry.
Because they both shrunk 2 inches and 20 pounds when they went to their combine?
Oh, man.
Which, by the way, is not Rashad Bateman's problem. That is not his fault.
No, it's not.
It is not his fault.
All right. So, this is Rashad Bateman.
Okay.
This is good.
9.13 unofficial, 9.47 when it came to his 40-yard dash. His height and weight come in at like okay/not great. And then good in terms of composite explosion scores as well, with a 36-inch vertical and a 10-foot 3-inch broad jump.
All right, and then here's Jarvis Landry.
Okay, these are not similar at all. Jarvis Landry, 0.27 RAS score back in 2014 at that. A 4.77 40-yard dash as opposed to a 4.39 40-yard dash, a 0.61 RAS score when it comes to that 40-yard dash as opposed to the +9 that we saw there. They both did have okay weight.
Yeah.
But they both showed up but one of them showed up at 5'11", the other one showed up at 6 foot. And then as opposed to a good composite explosion grade in terms of the vertical and the broad jump, the very poor one is handed down to Jarvis Landry for a 28.5-inch vertical leap, which is not the same as Rashad Bateman's, and a 9-foot 2-inch vertical leap, which is an entire foot and 8 inches shorter. Or excuse me, go back to Rashad Bateman's. An entire foot and 1 inch shorter, rather 13 inches shorter than Rashad Bateman. So no, these two are not comparable.
It's also funny to me looking at Jarvis Landry's because at how unathletic he is, because he was a return specialist. He was
a return specialist. That's right. And he went on to like set records in terms of like most receptions in certain years and things like that. Like
he's definitely an exception.
Yeah.
He is definitely an exception.
So the comparison between the two seems, I don't know, unfounded, perhaps?
Yeah, I don't get
Is
it.
that fair to say?
I don't get it.
Me either. That's incredible. Rashad Bateman was an interesting case, though, because he raised his intrigue, but also raised some questions because, again, he was listed at 6'2", 210 pounds by Minnesota, but he weighed in at his combine, or measured in rather at his combine at 6 foot even to 190 pounds. So 2 inches shorter, 20 pounds lighter. But then he also had a 4.39 40. He also had a 35 plus inch vert. He had that 10 foot 3 inch broad jump. Like, he showed explosion, he showed speed. So I think that maybe like the adjustment for Rashad Bateman becomes that maybe he's not set to be a feature receiver in terms of size, right? In terms of what people tend to think of as the prototypical size for an X receiver. But all of a sudden his stock as a Z complementary piece becomes pretty interesting.
Yeah. And some people might not know if so RAS score is just your relative athletic score.
Mm-hmm.
And to give an example, so someone listed the top in 2019. They listed the top 10 receivers by yardage, the relative athletic scores. So 912, 99, 966, 943, 975.
And these are all out of 10. These are all out of 10.
Yeah.
So
Keenan Allen was injured during the pre-draft process, so we don't have numbers for him. 893, 856, 965, and then 0.06 for Jarvis Landry.
Wow.
Who is definitely an exception.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
What a wild career that guy's had.
Yeah, I loved him in college. I liked him more than Odell in college.
Yeah. Well, he was the better one in college. Like, that's what everybody thought. Everybody thought of him as the sort of
the dude, and who
guy.
knew that Russell Shepard would have just as good of a career as that?
Who knew? Yeah, that was always the interesting thing, was like you always saw, Jarvis Landry making the crazy catches and everything. Like, he was the one that felt like the perennial Pro Bowler. And Odell Beckham Jr.
And they both were.
And then Odell Beckham Jr. was kind of like, oh yeah, he can be pretty good too. Like, there was never an assumption that Odell Beckham Jr. wouldn't be good, but the hype was around Jarvis Landry at LSU. And then Odell Beckham Jr. blew up. And then they both went on to succeed in the NFL, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're on the same team again with the same wide receiver coach that they had in college.
Yes, that was your mic beeped halfway through that and it was really loud. It was really weird.
Beep.
No, that wasn't that. Hey Ross, I want to ask you something.
Yeah, man.
I couldn't watch any baseball yesterday. What happened with the Dodgers?
Well,
I don't know. I just said I don't know.
Well, let's just say that you and Sarah might have been onto something when you chose the KC Royals over the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I was completely a misclick, Ross. How dare you say that I had any ulterior motives?
How dare you tweet out saying that it looked like you were both onto something? I love it. Yeah, it was not a good day for the Dodgers. It was, however, an extremely good day for the Royals.
The Royals won 14-10.
Cool,
Ross, well, and I want to look at this Astros game real quick, Ross, because I want to bring everyone in real quick. I want to bring everyone in close. Come here. Boos don't actually affect professional athletes. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, because everybody has had these plans, Ross, to boo that. Everyone's been waiting. I can't wait to boo the Astros. Can't wait.
You know what I think really emphasized or incorrectly emphasized the effects of booing, of a crowd booing? Professional wrestling. Because you were encouraged to boo the villain, you were encouraged to cheer the hero, like all these things. And when you would boo somebody in professional wrestling, they would react. You know, they would run around the ring and they would like yell things back at you and blah, 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 and all that. Or they would bask in it. You know what I mean? And stuff. And so it like made you want to boo. And then I think part of that translated over to the rest of professional sports. They're like, "Ooh, if I boo somebody, I'll get a rise out of them and I'll mess up their game or whatever." And then it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
My favorite, so Dan Clark, I follow Dan Clark. Dan Clark's hilarious.
Yep.
He had me dying on Twitter. Unintentionally had me dying on Twitter because he was like, "Oh, Bregman's coming up. Everybody, is going to boo him." And boom. And then the next tweet was absolute moonshot by Bregman.
How it started, how it ended.
Yeah. I think the Astros are going to be just fine, folks, because I don't know. Well, everybody expects the Astros to suck every year. They made it to the ALCS last year. They're a good team. Full of really, really good players.
They're a talented team.
And shout out to Dusty Baker. And shout out to Yordan Alvarez, man. He's cranking that thing. Yeah, he didn't get a home run yesterday, but he got close 3 times.
Yeah. My favorite tweet was the one that you sent me that somebody tweeted out saying that like the Los Angeles Dodgers are on pace to go 0-162 this season.
Yeah.
That was my favorite tweet. We're going to take a look. I have some futures as well for win-loss percent or win-loss over-unders for certain MLB teams that I think will be fun to take a look at. And then we have some other stuff coming up here in just a moment as well. Go ahead.
And sorry to a friend of the show, Sarah, as the Red Sox just got 3-0'd by the Orioles.
Yike. Woof.
Yike.
Well, sometimes it bees like that, which stinks. All right, so we will be back here in just a moment to continue on with today's episode of Dylan and Ross State Sports here on Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Sit tight.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right, I'm going to be right back.
Nope.
Chilling with Dylan time.
Chilling with Dylan time. Oh, man. All right. Woo. Chilling with Dylan. What's everybody up to? Who watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I know I did. It was really good. That's about it. What's going on? We're waiting on Ross to get back. Oh, gosh. Go Snapchat. Let's see. Chilling with Dylan until Ross gets back. Then Easter candy tier list. Boom. Yeah, we're gonna do an Easter candy tier list once Ross gets back. Because I think whenever we get back from break, Ross, we're gonna do baseball futures and then get into Easter candy tier list. And give you all a little heads up. I think maybe the only S tier is going to be Reese's Eggs, because Reese's Eggs are an S tier, but they might be so good that they're the only S tier. I can't think of any other S tier candies. Do y'all know of any S tier Easter candies? Because I don't know of any others. Man. Panay Sewell's arms. Not too short. Not too short at all. Send that there. Everyone, go listen to Locked On Gators with our boy Brandon Olson. Shout out. Friend of the show.
Podcast Network.
Everyone go support our friend Brandon. What is Ross doing? I saw you, Ross. Ross, I saw you. I saw him peek over. What's he doing? I don't know. Ross is being sneaky. Let's go back to over here. I like this view. Like this view better for when it's one person. Oh. There we go. You're muted. Yeah, you're muted. Ross
Were we
is
listening
muted.
to some? Were we listening to some Locked On Gators there for a moment?
Yeah, I was telling everybody to go check it out.
Nice, that's super dope. Shout out B-Ran.
Ross, did you see the tweet I sent you earlier about the guy that was like same throwing motion?
Yes, I did.
Wait.
Well, let's talk about this on air because we're coming back.
Okay.
All right, everybody, we are back. Dylan and Ross Say Sports here, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Dylan Sanders, Ross Jackson. We are here. Dylan, continue on.
Someone was I was just showing Ross a tweet that I saw earlier. So someone, Grant Cohn on Twitter, was like same throwing motion. It was a picture of Justin Fields and Dwayne Haskins. Do you think this is a good comparison, Ross?
No.
All right. For how many reasons?
There are a couple. There are a couple. First of all,
for our audio listeners, there are two pictures.
Pictures, photos, still photos.
Mm.
And the throwing motions actually aren't that similar in terms of like arm placement, elbow placement, direction. I don't even think these two balls are going to the same place.
No.
Like I look at one and it looks very much like Justin Fields looks like he's throwing a check down at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Their eyes are in different places, looking to different places.
Yeah.
The hips
Very
different.
The elbow on Justin Fields is pointed upwards, which tends to indicate that this is going to be a throw that is probably closer to the line of scrimmage. I think, if I'm understanding correctly,
his left arm is more inward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot different here. It's very interesting to me, though, this idea above all else, using two photos to try to display a throwing motion is just wild.
Same throwing motion, Ross.
Yikes, that's hysterical. Wow. So for those that don't know, this is a photo of, I assume that is Jamarcus Russell.
Yes.
Yeah, Jamarcus Russell and Tom Brady. Both they've got a pretty close. I mean,
it's closer than the last one.
It's closer than the other one. The only real difference I'm catching here is that the hand on the throwing hand on Jamarcus Russell is a little bit more parallel to the elbow, and the non-throwing hand is further out than Tom Brady's, which is closer in. But that's really it. I don't know that either of those are a huge factor. That's Sam Munson, by the way. Shout out. They'll stop at nothing. Stop at nothing.
But also, Ross, Penei Sewell's arms are too short. Fun fact, Ross. Rashawn Slater's arms shorter than Penei Sewell's.
That's hysterical.
So,
oh man, I love draft season.
I will say I did see a really good point brought up to me by Mason, DTH Mason, I think is his Twitter.
Oh,
yeah. I just want to be able to give him a proper DTH_Mason shout out. He brought up a really good point, Ross. The Bengals, we've been saying that they should pick Penei Sewell. Obvious pick, but the Bengals front office has frequently proven that all that they care about is money.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamar Chase would sell a lot more jerseys than Penei Sewell.
That is very true. Very true.
Do not be surprised if they pick Jamar Chase. And listen, Jamar Chase would be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the other part of it too, is that like that's actually, I mean, it's not that it's a terrible choice for them. It's just that like we all kind of look at the Cincinnati Bengals and go, hey, you know what they could use? An offensive line, because it doesn't necessarily matter who you're throwing to if you don't have an offensive line to buy.
Especially when you already have three good targets to throw to.
Right. So, you know, I mean, I think that it's like, it's just one of those types of things where like do you not have enough at the moment at the skill positions? Do you really need to continue to invest there when you've proven to yourself that you can't produce with the skill position players without the right people in the trenches?
But I mean, look at Green Bay, Ross.
Right.
They've needed to draft skill positions for years, and they just haven't.
Right.
All right. You said you have some futures, Ross? Some futures?
Yeah, I wanted to take a look at like MLB over under wins, basically for a couple of interesting teams. This is over at NJ.com, part of New Jersey's sports coverage over there.
Wait, how long is this season? Do you know how many games this season is?
I believe it's a full MLB season, is it not?
Is it full 162?
Thought so. This season. Oh, is it only 60 this season? No, that's the 2020 season. So 2021 is what we want to. I thought it was a full season this year. Yes, it is a full season this year, 162, according to Googs, as well as here a full 162 game season is planned. Blah blah blah, blah announcing the 2021 season.
Interesting.
So as of right now, the highest win total projected is the Los Angeles Dodgers at 101.5 at the moment. You take the over or the under on that one?
Under.
Under.
Going all under, all the way.
Over, baby. I know that they're on pace here to to go winless technically, but we'll live.
No, nothing's more important than on pace, Ross.
That's right. Nothing is more important. I love me a good on pace stat. Okay, let's do Arizona Diamondbacks 75.5. It's set at 75.5. Over under.
Over for Arizona.
I'm going under.
Do you think you're gonna be real bad?
Under. Yeah, I just think like the NL is really good, and then you also have the Dodgers, the Padres, things like that. Like
the Dodgers, Ross, suck.
The Atlanta Braves 91.5 over under.
I'm going over for them.
I'll take the over on that too.
You're just going over. No one's losing the game.
No, I said under for the Diamondbacks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Except for the Diamondbacks, they lose all the games.
Well, here's one: the Baltimore Orioles 64.5.
Under.
This one, Arizona. I'm sorry, the New Jersey NJ.com is also taking the under on that one. Here's a good one: Chicago White Sox 90.5.
Over.
NJ.com takes the under there, but I'm going to take the over too. I think they're exactly in the 90 win range. I don't know that they get to triple digits, but I think that 90.5. If that means 91, I'll take it.
It does mean 91.
That's right. Oh, here we go. The superstars themselves, the Kansas City Royals, 73.5.
Under.
Yes, I agree. I do think they also come under. A pretty modest number for the Milwaukee Brewers, 83.5.
Over.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that one. I feel really safe about taking the over on that one, actually. All right. Here's a good one. Slam Diego Padres. I know what you're thinking. Over. Immediately. I know. 94.5.
Under. I'm going under.
I go under too.
I'm going under.
I go under too. What if it was set at 90? No, what if it was set at like 87.5?
Oh, that's over all day.
Do you feel like they get to 90 wins? Like, is it like the question?
I think that they can easily get to triple digits, but it's just hard. I'm gonna go.
Well, I just wonder if they get to 90.
I'm saying yes. I think they get to 90. I'm saying they can get to triple digits. I'm not saying they will, but they can. Yeah. They have the ability.
That is true.
They could get technically get 162 wins. Did they win yesterday?
I can't remember. Hold on.
Yes,
We
they
forgot
did.
that we went into this before talking about scores. Pittsburgh Pirates 58.5.
That's under. Over. I'm going over it.
Whatever you think.
I think they start to turn it over. Brian Hayes, shout out. We talked about him in Rookie of the Year contention.
Yep.
Hit a 410-foot homer in the first inning. Youngest Pirate to hit a home run in opening day since Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds. Remember that guy? New York Mets 90.5.
Over.
I was thinking under. I was thinking under. I was thinking like 80, 88.
I'm thinking about 120.
Wow,
They're on pace to go 0-0 for the entire season.
That's right. They're on pace to not play a game.
Yeah.
Woof.
Woof. That's not what you want. And it also sucks because they don't have a game scheduled today. So their fans are going to have to wait until tomorrow for opening day. And actually, no, they're not, because that is also postponed. So they're going to have to wait until Monday the 5th for opening day.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. I love it. All right, one more. You pick the team.
Astros.
Oh, right. Of course.
Over.
The Houston Astros. Actually, they have a pretty nice line here. 87.5.
Over.
Under. Great.
This is a triple-digit team, Ross.
Let's see what they take. Let's see what New Jersey takes. Oh, they take over as well. Fair to say that Houston has been one of, if not the best team in the MLB over the past couple seasons or so. That's an interesting statement. Astros have been have made deep playoff runs in all of the last 4 seasons, reaching the World Series twice and winning it once during that time. We're just not going to acknowledge anything in this breakdown. Apparently, they managed at least 100 wins in all of their last 3 162 game seasons, and with players like Carlos Correa and Framber Valdez, we should expect them to manage a similar total this time around. So they're teasing a 3-digit win team.
Maybe as they should, because Ross, I wanted to show you a picture. I don't know if you've ever seen this before.
We're gonna learn today.
We're gonna learn. We gonna learn today. This is let's see. Where is it? Where is this?
You can do it.
I know what I did wrong.
All right. Meanwhile, we'll do another one.
Okay, do one more.
We talked about the Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs 78.5.
Yeah. I think that under. I also have the picture up, Ross, if you haven't.
Perfect. NJ.com takes the over, but I agree with you, the under. All right, what am I looking at?
You'll see. You'll see.
Is that just them holding a World Series trophy?
Yes, that's when the Astros won the World Series. Who did they beat?
Stop it.
How
did they do that? How did they do that again?
They won more games than the.
Remember what we talked about? Like we should examine the events that created the condition.
See Ross. They won more games than the Dodgers. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And remember how we talked about, instead of talking and focusing on the response of the condition, that we should examine the events that created the condition under which the responses took place. Remember that conversation?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Right.
Well, can you read this headline for our audio listeners, Ross?
Multiple mistakes prove costly as the Dodgers disappoint on opening day and lose to Rockies 8-5.
Yeah.
8-5, excuse me.
Yeah. Can you, one more. My voice gonna hurt, so I can't. Like it's you know.
Yeah, it sounds like you're really struggling today.
I'm really struggling today. What does this one say, Ross?
It's
the Houston Chronicle. There we go. Nope.
Betting market is severely underrating the Rockets. Is that what I said?
The Astros rolled past A's to win season opener in hostile environment. Ross.
Gotcha.
So, So, you ready for this to the entire season, Ron?
Mm-hmm.
When's the first? When did the Astros and Dodgers play? I wonder. I need to find this out because this is important information. Who do they play first? They probably play the Yankees first. They do. They play the Yankees next month. They play the Dodgers next month as well.
Mm-hmm.
A 2-game series again in the end of May. So this will be fun.
I love it. Ross,
do you want to get into our tier list for the day?
Yeah, real quick though, I want to show this tweet real quick.
Are you trying to show something? See, it's not letting me. I'm clicking it.
It's one of these things that you showed earlier. There was another one that was really good. Hold on, just give me a moment to find it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that was gonna. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that was gonna pop up. This is pretty interesting. If you'd like to read the headline here, I don't know if you would like to read this or not. If you want to pull that back up, if you want to go ahead and read that headline outright.
I should say he's been auditioned for better change there.
Sorry, I couldn't really. You kind of broke up a little bit. I'm going to need you to slow it down a little bit. Just use your radio voice.
Astros World Series winning season.
Don't worry. I'll read it for you. Astros hit with huge.
Oh man, it's really messing up for you, Ross. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, things have been a little wild over here recently. It's kind of crazy. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's go and get to our tier list because we
need to change the names of these tiers because this is like I'll die for more.
What?
It eases my soul. Kind of slaps.
What?
Yeah. There's no A. They didn't do S, A, or B, or C, or D, or anything like that.
It is not that serious.
The Jets. We just need to start having a Jets. There's always a Jets tier.
Oh man,
always a Jets tier. All right, I'm gonna share that we're doing this Easter candy.
Yeah, so tomorrow is Easter, or not tomorrow? Sunday.
It is on Sundays.
Woof.
It's a Good Friday, Ross.
It is Good Friday today, everybody. Happy Good Friday. Hope your Friday is going good. So we are doing a Easter candy tier list here with some popular candies, mostly in their Easter themed iteration as we continue on. So please, let's go ahead and wrap up with this today.
All right, Ross. Let's see. Is there a way to? I'm using a different. I wanted to zoom in, but I'm using a different thing. It's whatever. All right. Dum Dums. Do you know what Dum Dums are, Ross?
I think so, but I don't remember eating.
They're like lollipops.
Oh yes, yeah, and they have all the bunch of different flavors and stuff like that. I used to like those a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I used to like those a lot. My favorite flavors were blue raspberry, of course, because I'm not crazy. Green apple, I know. Sour apple, not a lot of people like that flavor. And root beer. Those are my favorite ones.
Ross, we're the same person. I love all those flavors. I'm thinking, but I don't really put it with Easter. Do they have Easter flavors? I guess
they might, but to me, it's not an Easter candy. That was just candy to me.
But I'm throwing it in B tier.
That's great.
There's these little it's the carrot things they're full of the Reese's Pieces. I think is what those are. Remember have you ever had it's like a there's not a Reese's Pieces thing. It's like Russell Stover's.
Yeah, it's just like a chocolate. It's just like a chocolate carrot, right?
Yeah.
It was like wrapped in foil that on the
But-
outside was colored like a carrot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess so. But I also know that they sell them full of like little Reese's Pieces, which those are
dope.
delicious.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is just the like chocolate. But I mean,
Yeah,
it
it
is
is
just
straight up.
chocolate.
I think it's just straight up chocolate carrots.
But I mean, chocolate's chocolate.
Yeah, I'm not mad at chocolate.
You put
Maybe-
in A, B,
Yeah, B's fine.
B. All right,
S.
S. And
Easy.
before going into this, Ross, during chilling with Dylan, I went over this and I said that I think Reese's with the Reese's eggs might be the only S tier because of how good they are.
I completely agree. I think that S tier is reserved to Reese's Eggs because every other Easter candy is just trying to get to that level.
But Ross, there is something I forgot about that reaches that level for me. We don't have to put it in the S tier. If you don't agree, it's not going in the S tier. It'll go in A. But these Butterfinger eggs are so good.
I do mess with the Butterfinger eggs. Are they as good as the Reese's Eggs though?
To me, I might prefer them.
Ooh.
Okay, but also keep in mind, Ross, Butterfinger is my favorite candy, so I'm biased.
That's fine. I mean, Reese's Reese's was my favorite candy. You know what I mean? So
Butterfinger is my favorite candy, but we don't have to put it in. It's not as iconic. The Reese's eggs are amazing and they're iconic.
let's put it in the A tier right now.
But I will say I'll put it in the A tier because I forgot about them until I saw them. I'll never forget Reese's eggs.
When you think Easter candy, you think the Reese's eggs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So let's put it in the A tier right now. But we'll see, because there will be other things that might tease the A tier that aren't as good as the Butterfinger, but are better than what we currently have in the B tier, in which case we could move Butterfinger eggs up.
Yes. All right. Haribo something.
Oh, the Haribo candies. I was not a big fan of those.
Yeah. He's going D. C or D? D.
D works for me.
These are these these aren't Peeps, right? I think.
Hold on.
Are these the egg? Are these the ones that are like?
They're still the same idea.
I thought that one of them is like the elephant, like the peanuts, like the circus peanuts, not elephant peanuts, circus peanuts.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if that's those.
I thought that those little
They might just be Peeps.
Those little yellow bunnies were just Peeps, but they were.
I think these might just be the Peeps versions.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you fall on Peeps, Ross?
I didn't mind them. I mean, they weren't like my favorite thing, and I wasn't super excited to have them, but they were just marshmallow with sugar.
People hate Peeps.
Yeah. I don't hate them like people do. No,
I don't know why people hate them. I like Peeps. I'm the only one in my family that'll eat Peeps if they're given. If my mother buys them, to the point my mom only buys me Peeps.
Right.
She only buys small packages, and then I still get Peeps because I like Peeps.
Yeah,
but
I'm okay
people
with
hate them.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with them. They're sort of mid to me in terms of like they just kind of are what they are. But
also they have all these different flavors. I'm only going to put original Peeps.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm down with like a B or a C for those.
Let's go B. I'll go B. I do really like them.
Great. I don't dislike them the way that like people dislike Peeps the way like people dislike candy corn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't think those two are on the same level. Sorry, go ahead.
Robin eggs, the Whopper Robin eggs.
I like malted milk balls are like some of my favorite candy.
Mm-hmm.
So I like those a lot. That's like A for me.
I'm finally going A with these.
Dope.
Are these just milk chocolate M&Ms but different colors? We don't need to worry about that. Tootsie Roll eggs. These are a hard C for me.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Are those just bigger Tootsie Rolls? Like more inconvenient Tootsie Rolls? Because they're already hard as hell to chew in the first place.
Yeah. Tootsie Roll is the Yahoo of candy.
I like that a lot. Like it's not actual chocolate. It's just chocolate flavored. Yeah.
And if you didn't grow up eating them, you're going to hate them because they're probably pretty gross.
They're really gross. I grew up eating them, and I think they're gross.
Cadbury mini eggs.
I was not a big fan of Cadbury eggs.
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm mid on them.
I like how you like started at the jet tier, like all the way down at the bottom, and then you really did work your way up all the way to A before you chose the spot.
I was just calibrating.
I think you're
The
just
system.
moving.
The system was calibrating. A hard C for me.
Cool. That works.
I don't know what these are.
Are those just full-on Cadbury eggs, like the big ones, as opposed to the mini ones?
Maybe that might be what that is. I wish I knew where the zoom feature was because I want to zoom in. Now, we usually are able to zoom in.
Yeah.
Are we
It's all
not?
good. Not zooming in for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, those just look like standard Cadbury eggs to me, though.
All right.
Are we going to do
worse?
the? Yeah, because there's more of them. Are we going to do the chocolate Easter bunny?
Yeah. I will say one thing about the chocolate Easter bunny is that chocolate Easter bunny chocolate tastes different than normal chocolate.
It does. There's something specific about it. I don't know if it's the bunny or if it's
wax.
Yeah. Or if it's
whatever preservatives, however they shape it.
Right. Yeah.
There's a distinct flavor.
Yeah.
There is normal chocolate. There's milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and then there's Easter bunny chocolate.
Right. And then somewhere white chocolate's down there, but we don't talk about it.
We do not talk about white chocolate, Ross. Do not mention it again on this show.
Dang. Somebody does not like butter. Jeez.
Butter.
All right. So where do you sit on it though? Is it better than standard chocolate?
I mean, it's worse than normal chocolate.
I agree. I'm not a fan of the chocolate Easter bunnies. I'm not a fan of those at all. My suspicion, much like with candy corn, is that we are still working on eating and selling the original stockpile of Easter bunny chocolate. That is my theory for why it tastes different.
Jelly bean eggs.
I'm kind of mid on those. You know, I'm higher.
They're
on
just melody
candies
beans.
than I am on fruity candies.
They're just jelly beans.
They're just jelly beans.
How do you feel about Pez dispensers, Ross?
What an incredible waste of time.
In plastic.
Yeah, just a remarkable piece of waste that there's like no reason for. I feel similarly to the candy bracelets. Like what a just awful.
And the candy bracelets get so gross after like eating one.
Yeah, like you just put your mouth. Yeah, you just put your mouth all over candy that's around your wrist. Like, how is this enjoyable? Like, it's a good deterrent from eating candy, but that's about it.
All right, Ross. Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at this list, Easter candy or Halloween candy? It's easy to me.
The rest of this feels like Halloween candy.
Like, what do you like better?
The one oh, I understand. Which do I like better, Easter candy or Halloween candy?
Yeah.
I prefer Halloween candy.
Yeah, any day of the week.
Because I'm also convinced
But you know what's funny? You know what the best Halloween candy is, right, Ross?
It's the pumpkin.
Reese's pumpkin. The Reese's pumpkin.
There's a level of consistency here in terms of who runs the gamut of popular holiday themed candies, and it's Reese's. Mm-hmm. Reese's Christmas trees, best. Reese's pumpkins, best. Reese's eggs, best.
I just got a notification from the app Citizen. Did you ever download that app? Do you have that app?
Oh, yeah. No, I have it all the time. I always get the weirdest stuff out here from it.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. But I downloaded it for the first time, and what took me off guard is I was looking at the map, and there's a big red button that says "Get Help." And when I pressed "Get Help," it was like, "All right, you got to upgrade."
Oh gosh.
Because I did not bought the full Citizen because I don't even know how much it is used out here. So
Yeah, I love it. I have never bought the full one, but that is news to me. I would not have known that until I needed help.
Yeah,
because I would not
go to Citizen.
Yeah, I would not dare press that button until I knew I actually needed help because I am afraid of what's on the other side of hitting that button. But your courage,
I knew
has
I
now
would.
educated the
I would
masses.
be okay, no matter what happened. I would be okay. I had the freedom to press it. Do we need to rank any of these? What are these? The end egg ones? Oh no.
I don't know. Those kind of look just like jelly beans too. There's Starburst, which I do feel like Starburst is something I do feel like has a little bit more of an Easter flair to it. That's actually worth it because there's actually different flavors. For me, that's a B. Sour Patch Kids, I don't think do anything specific for Easter. Like you either have watermelon.
There's just different shapes.
Yeah.
Although I do love Sour Patch Kids.
I loves me some Sour Patch Kids, but I don't associate those as Easter candy.
What is this? Is this just a pinata?
It really just looks like a pinata from somebody's Snapchat.
Yeah. I don't think we need to rank any of these.
Nope, we got it. We're done here.
Actually, Ross, I'm gonna rank the cotton candy peeps.
That's what that is. There you go. Yeah, that's horrific. Good stuff. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in for another episode here at Dylan and Ross Say Sports here on Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. We'll be back with you on Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern time here on the channel. We will be back at it then and continue to talk about. By then, we'll know